Thank you for joining us today for the Medical Retina and Vein Occlusion session. And we're going to kick off with Dr. Barbara Bodie, and she's going to talk about LEAVO versus SCORE2, a comparison of two CRVO, comparative effectiveness trials for the treatment of macular edema with anti-VEGF agents.
Good afternoon. Thank you to the panelists and the program organizers for this opportunity. On behalf of the LEAVO and SCORE2 investigators, it's my pleasure to present a comparison of two CRVO, comparative effectiveness trials, for the treatment of macular edema with anti-VEGF agents. I have no financial conflict of interest. To summarize the timeline of CRVO clinical trials, it's nearly 25 years since the CVOS trial results were published, showing that laser did not improve visual acuity in edema due to CRVO. Approximately 15 years later, we saw trials that demonstrated intravitreal steroid therapy improved visual acuity, and soon after, the anti-VEGF era for CRVO began, where a number of phase 3 trials of one anti-VEGF agent versus sham showed significant visual acuity improvement. Now, we're in the era of comparative effectiveness trials for the treatment of vein occlusion. LEAVO, a trial conducted in the United Kingdom, and SCORE2, conducted here in the US, are both phase 3 trials comparing anti-VEGF agents in CRVO. These two trials were designed completely independently and nearly simultaneously. So how did that happen? Well, really in the early part of this decade, there was a need to find out and address whether or not anti-VEGF agents are equivalent in the treatment of CRVO. It's important to recognize that there are differences in the trial design of these two trials. SCORE2 is a trial of aflibercept versus bevacizumab only, with a primary outcome at 6 months. LEAVO was a trial of aflibercept, ranibizumab, and bevacizumab with a 24-month primary outcome. A more detailed version of LEAVO results were presented yesterday by Phil Heiken and was published in JAMA Ophthalmology in August of this year. In LEAVO, on your left, CRVO patients were enrolled with macular edema with or without ischemia. Aflibercept and bevacizumab were compared to ranibizumab, as ranibizumab was the standard of care in UK at the time. LEAVO patients received 4 mandated monthly injections. Then injections were given as needed based on vision and OCT. All LEAVO patients were seen every 4 or 8 weeks through month 24. In SCORE2, participants were enrolled with edema due to either non-ischemic CRVO or HRVO. All patients received 6 mandated monthly injections, and good responders were then re-randomized to either monthly injection versus treat and extend. Protocol-defined poor responders had a switch in treatment. Protocol-specific treatment in SCORE2 only lasted until month 12, and between month 12 and 24, patients were treated at the discretion of the investigator. Baseline characteristics between the two trials also show some differences. To summarize the top-line results from SCORE2, SCORE2 showed that bevacizumab was non-inferior to aflibercept with respect to visual acuity at 6 months. Monthly injections of both drugs showed over 18 letters of visual acuity improvement, and you can see the point estimates for each drug within 1 letter of each other. Bevacizumab met the 5-letter non-inferiority margin. At month 6, a re-randomization occurred for SCORE2 responders in order to prospectively test a treat and extend schedule. A large percentage of participants in each arm of the trial were good responders, and these were the ones that were re-randomized to either continued monthly injections or treat and extend by an interval of 2 weeks. As you see in the 2 graphs, there was no difference in visual acuity for participants in either drug group between monthly or treat and extend. Poor responders were treated with a switch in treatment and are not presented here. Between months 12 and 24, SCORE2 participants had, again, no protocol-defined treatment. Investigators treated at their discretion, giving us some real-world data. You can see this on the graph of the arc of visual acuity over 24 months. The red arrow on the left shows you that at month 6 and then at month 12, visual acuity continues to improve, but between months 12 and 24, mean visual acuity decreases by 5 letters. There is no difference, however, in the outcome when comparing the 2 treatments based on the participant's original drug assignment. I'd like to now share with you the results of the top-line LEAVO trial. The primary outcome was at 24 months, and the primary outcome analysis revealed that intravitreal bevacizumab was not non-inferior to ranibizumab. Aflibercept was non-inferior, but not superior to bevacizumab. And in a post hoc analysis, bevacizumab was not non-inferior to aflibercept as well. In LEAVO, patients did not change from their treatment groups. There was no re-randomization. And here you can see the red arrow on your left, a decrease in visual acuity at month 6. That was following the 4 required monthly injections that actually had 2 monthly visits where injections were done only as needed. After month 6, there was stabilization of visual acuity until month 24, the red arrow on your right, where separation occurred between the 3 treatment arms. In LEAVO, all 3 anti-VEGF agents led to improvement in vision, and there were very few treatment failures. The participants had visit intervals no more than 8 weeks apart through 2 years, which did help to ensure that participants who needed more frequent injections would get them, and others who did not were simply monitored. Final visual acuity, however, did not reach the same level as in SCORE2, as you see in the table below. What are the take-home messages from these 2 CRVO trials? Well, clearly differences exist in the outcome of these 2 trials, and it's notable that bevacizumab did not perform as well in LEAVO as it did in SCORE2. Differences in results may be due to trial design, time of primary outcome, eligibility criteria. Based on the available data from these 2 trials, it does suggest that an initial treatment schedule of 6 monthly anti-VEGF injections appears to be more effective than 4 monthly injections. And close follow-up every 4 to 8 weeks is beneficial in maintaining those early visual acuity gains seen early in the treatment phase. Thank you to all the LEAVO and SCORE2 sites and investigators, and to our funding agencies.
Thank you, Barbara.